What's up? Elliot here. And today we're going to be talking about fast food restaurants. You love them, I love them. Millions of people around the world love them. Burgers, fries, shakes, tacos, you name it. You can probably get it at a reasonable price and kind of quick. But the truth is, there's a dark side to fast food restaurants. Long drive-through lanes. They're forgetting the straws. They're fucking up. But now, we're going to talk about it. The screw-ups and the triumphs of fast food restaurants as they get ranked in the ultimate fast food tier list. If you're ready, let's begin. First on the list is Arby's. Here's the deal with Arby's. They say they have the meats, well they also have the mistakes. Anytime I go to Arby's, they either forget my change, I wait too long in line, and when I get the food, it's greasy and cold. I think they let the food sit for way too long, and Arby's generally just pisses me off. By the time of this recording this video, it's June 24th or 25th, I believe, around that time, and they released an Angus, burger. Now, Arby's doesn't release burgers, but they had recently released one because Arby's sucks, and they knew that they needed something that people actually like to come to the restaurant to enjoy. So, just by that basis alone, Arby's is aware that their offerings are subpar. So Arby's is getting a F tier. It is what it is. Jack in the Box. Oh boy. Jack in the Box has the potential to be the worst restaurant on this list. The problem with Jack in the Box is they cast too wide of a net. They try to do everything. They try to make tacos, they try to make burgers, they try to make omelets, they try to make burritos, they try to make everything. Everything. One of my favorite streamers is Asmongold, and he said the moment Jack in the Box fell down, it really crumbled, is whenever they came out with the bacon milkshake. And when you try to drink it, the bacon would even fit through the straw. And I would say he's goddamn motherfucking right. Jack in the Box is always a hassle. Plus, anytime you go there, you're running a risk, 50-50 chance they're not going to take your order because they're on break, or something of that nature, or a machine is down, come back in 15 minutes, or it's just ridiculous. So Jack in the Box is getting an F tier. A&W. Now, I've only been to a handful of A&Ws, but the times that I've been there, the food was alright. I will say, the restaurant itself was also a little bit dirty. A&Ws don't seem to have the highest standards of cleanliness or staff or things of that nature. But when it comes to the food, and of course the drinks, it seems to be decent enough. I've been a huge fan of A&W products, especially the root beer and cream soda, which I would consider A and S tier drinks respectively. And the A&W brand as a whole has been around for a very long time. If I had to rate this though, I would probably rate it a C tier. It's in the middle right there, okay? Auntie Annie pretzels. Alright, so let's talk about this. I've only been to these while they're in mall food courts, okay? So I've only had them a handful of times. But I would say they're just generally decent. They're just pretzels. That's what they make. Now, they're good pretzels, but they don't blow me away or anything. They're nothing special. I would have to rate this a B tier. Boston Market. I've never been to a Boston Market. Burger King. All right. Burger King. Or I would say ex-king, because he was thrown off the crown. The monarchy was toppled. Burger King has my favorite burger, or at least favorite fast food burger, and that is the Whopper. I love the Whopper. The Whopper's delicious and hits the spot every time. That being said, Burger King's quality has gone down significantly throughout the years. Burger King was at times previously on par with McDonald's. They were like Goku and Vegeta. They were all rivals. They would compete. But as time progressed, Burger King fell in quality, and McDonald's just created more locations. But we'll get to McDonald's quality later on. Burger King does have the Whopper. Their fries are pretty crisp. Some locations have the cheesy mozzarella sticks, and if you get them as soon as they give them to you, they're very melty and very good. They melt in your mouth with the cheese. I would say Burger King's food, in my opinion, the Burger Kings that I go to are very good. But I am also aware that there are Burger Kings that suck dick. They suck balls and they suck cock. They are not good Burger Kings. So it's kind of a mixed bag based on the Burger King that you go to. But if it's up to me, I'm rating Burger King high B. Low A, high B. I'm going to put it here for now. I might change it later, but that's where I rate Burger King. Checkers, which is also Rally's. Rally's Checkers. So, what do they got? They have some really, really good burgers. They got the Big Buford, which I usually go to. They also have amazing fries. Checkers and Rally's fries might be the best in the game. Their fries are out of this world. And just on the basis of their fries alone, their rating gets bumped up a couple levels. Now, what are their cons? They kind of have the same thing with Jack in the Box. If you go to a Checkers late at night, you have a 50-50 chance of the employees telling you that they're not going to cook food for you because they're on break, or a machine is down, or something of that nature. Really, a machine is down at 3:21 in the morning? All right. Well, Checkers, the food is good, but like I said, when you go, depending which one you go to and what hour, they might reject you completely. That being said, because the food's actually decent, I'm gonna rate it a D. If they didn't have good food, it'd be on the same level as Jack in the Box. But their service is just so out of whack, I have to rate it this level. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is it's hard to talk about because the owner of Chick-fil-A is in my opinion a bad dude. Chick-fil-A and its organizations have on many times donated to anti-gay, anti-LGBT communities. But I have eaten at Chick-fil-A before, and if we're rating it on a food basis, it's an S tier. Their service is good and their food is good. Now, whether you morally want to eat at Chick-fil-A, that's a whole nother thing. I personally don't, because I don't agree with the message that the person who owns the business, he actively pursues. If he didn't actively pursue that, I'd be more inclined to eat there because their food is killer and their service is amazing. But how a person decides to handle that situation is on them. I'm not going to tell people what to do. That they'll have to make that decision on their own. Because I've heard of many different angles to it. Chipotle. So let's talk about Chipotle. Chipotle's a little bit more on the expensive side, but it has amazing offerings. They have keto offerings. They have vegetarian offerings. They have amazing burritos that you can make your own. They just have great food. And the quality of the food is extremely high. And I would say that the price is worth the cost of admission. I'm going to rate Chipotle an A for sure. It's probably an A, low S tier. Cinnabon. So, how do I tackle Cinnabon? So, just like Auntie Annie, I've only had Cinnabon in a mall. Now, I've had them several times, and I like to go to them whenever I'm in a mall because Cinnabon is freaking delicious. And what do? They do cinnamon rolls. And they do them perfectly. Some of these restaurants on this list do only one thing, and they do them right. It's better to be a Cinnabon than a Jack in the Box. Like a master versus a jack of all trades, which is a jack of shit. Because Jack in the Box fucks everything up, and they try to do everything, and they screw it up. Where Cinnabon does one thing, and they do it perfectly. And that's why Cinnabon is getting an A tier. I would put them in S tier, but they're just not out there enough. They're not out there enough. Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's sandwiches are all right. It's nice that they were deliverable before the whole delivering craze with Uber and DoorDash and Grubhub, because you could actually get them to deliver before all of that. But now that that is more prevalent and ubiquitous, Jimmy John's delivery isn't really as it doesn't hit as hard as a bonus. But Jimmy John's sandwiches, they're all right. It's kind of a middle tier place. You know, if you're feeling for a sandwich, you pass one by and you're wanting some lunch, you can go. Now, Dairy Queen. I love Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has delicious blizzards. The mix is almost always good versus the ice cream and the concrete mix that they put in, whether it's Reese's or fruits or whatever kind of mix you want. It's almost always solid. I usually go with the strawberry cheesecake when I go to Dairy Queen. Sometimes I'll get the cookie dough as well. The ice cream's always good. The hamburgers are always hot. The chicken tenders, in my opinion, are very good. The customer service is also very nice. Dairy Queen, in my opinion, I know this is going to be shocking to some of you, but the Dairy Queens that I've been to are high A tier restaurants. I wouldn't put them S tier, but they're high A tier. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is kind of like the Jimmy John's of donuts. You can see right below, right here, you have Krispy Kreme, and we'll get to that in a moment, but that is my donut restaurant of choice. I don't really like they call it Dunkin' now, not Dunkin' Donuts. But Dunkin's okay. I mean, I'll go there if it's available, but if I'm getting donuts and there's a Krispy Kreme, I'm going to Krispy Kreme. I don't know what this is, so we're going to put it as a question mark. No name Andy. El Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco is pretty delicious. It's also in a kind of that C tier range. They have really delicious tacos and burritos, but it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, I can eat here, or it's an opportunity cost of going to Taco Bell. And since you go to Taco Bell more often because it's more ubiquitous, why would you go here? Unless you have some sort of special connection to the restaurant. I would rate it a C. Five Guys. Oh my god. So, this is hard. Five Guys quite possibly does have the best food out of all the restaurants on this tier list. But it's going to cost you a mortgage to get a meal. You'll at least have to put down a down payment, if you know what I mean. It's extremely expensive. I don't even know if I would qualify it as fast food, to be quite honest with you. But since it's on the list, it's going to S tier. Five Guys burgers always slap. They're always good, and they're always delicious. Their fries, they give you more fries than you order. Here's the thing that you should know about Five Guys. Always order a small fry, because they fill your bag up with fries anyways. And I guarantee you, you're not gonna finish a small fry. I just guarantee you. All right? You get whatever burger you want, get a small fry, and get their shakes. Oh my god, their shakes. Their banana shake is an S tier. This might be my personal favorite out of everything here. But we'll get to that. Hardee's. I've been to a Hardee's a handful of times. It's okay. I would say it's definitely better than Jack in the Box and Checkers. Checkers has better fries, but Hardee's, their burger offerings are a lot better. Where they fall behind is their marketing. When it comes to Hardee's, in order to enjoy it, you actually have to be a Hardee's enthusiast. They don't market at all. And I know in some places they're called Carl's Jr.'s. They're kind of similar in Checkers in that way, where they have Checkers and Rallies depending on the market they're in. I would put them above Checkers. They're probably like a low C, low D. I'm going to put them in a low D only because we're grading on a curve. In-N-Out. In-N-Out's very good. It's very delicious. The people on the West Coast do have it made. I've been to In-N-Out only a handful of times because they're not established in my region. But In-N-Out Burger is very, very good. I'm going to give this an S tier. Also, they have the super hats that they'll give you, and if you just ask them, they'll give you hats, and then you're walking away with a hat. On top of that, they have a secret menu, and if you order something like Monster Style, and then you go back to the table with the rest of your friends, then now you're superior to everyone else at the table because you had ordered something Monster Style, and you knew that little bit of information. And usually people who eat at fast food restaurants this often don't have many opportunities in life to feel better than everyone else. Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's subs, I mean, it's like the rando sandwich shop. I mean, honestly, that and the Quiznos, to me, they're like interchangeable. It's like, really? I personally don't even like getting sandwiches at restaurants like this. Not even really Subway. If I were to get a sub sandwich or something like that, I would go to like my local Schnucks or like a Kroger or like a place that's actually gonna make you a sandwich the way you want. But Jersey Mike's, I mean, it's okay. I would put it as a C tier. KFC. So the deal with KFC is, in my opinion, they kind of have a similar story to Burger King. They were very, very good. They had high quality, but that quality has slipped in recent years. They had really, really good bowls. So you have the potatoes, the cheese, the corn, the gravy, and the fried chicken. I generally They also have the chicken pot pies, which are also very delicious. And of course, they have the buckets of chicken, which are breaded to perfection. I would say their breading is probably the best. And they have the finger-licking good sauce, which they changed to just the KFC sauce now because of COVID. They don't want people licking their fingers. But KFC, it's probably a B tier, low B tier. It would be ranked higher several years ago, but they just let their standards fall. It's just not where it needs to be. Krispy Kreme. I love Krispy Kreme donuts. I grew up on Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'll tell you this, they're my weakness. These things are so bad for you, but they're very delicious. There's nothing that I quite like more than a Krispy Kreme donut with the raspberry jelly inside it. It's very delicious. It's the ultimate dessert. You can eat it for breakfast. You can eat it at night. You can eat it for lunch. You can eat it whenever. You get Krispy Kreme in front of me, I'm gonna go insane. I love Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme is getting an A tier. Long John Silver's. So let's talk about this. So, Long John Silver's sells, it's like the premier seafood fast food place. I've had the consistent problem with their food being too greasy, and it's not hot enough. I don't know if that's a seafood thing or if that's a Long John Silver's thing. I don't eat seafood often enough to say, but I've seen that kind of as a repeating thing. But also specifically to Long John Silver's, I find that their food is incredibly greasy and does not have a long shelf life. So you have to eat Long John Silver's within pretty soon after you get it to really be good. I would say it would actually do better as a sit-down restaurant than drive-through or something of that nature. So if you're gonna eat this, eat it at the restaurant. If you're gonna take it home, don't even bother. I would rate it as an F tier in my opinion. You know who it is. Ronald McDonald. He's coming in and he's coming in hot. Here comes the Golden Arches, McDonald's. So the deal with McDonald's. McDonald's is the OG. It is the Superman. It is the pinnacle, the archetype of a fast food restaurant, and that has to go into its rating. What is the one thing that people want from McDonald's more than anything else? If you answered anything on the menu, Big Mac, Quarter Pounder, fries, you're wrong. They want consistency. They want consistency with their Big Macs. They want consistency with their Quarter Pounders. They want consistency with their fries. That's why all these chains happened. That's why whenever you go to a Burger King, a Whopper tastes like a Whopper. That's why when you go to get an A&W root beer, an A&W root beer tastes like an A&W root beer. Or a Krispy Kreme donut tastes like a Krispy Kreme donut. They are the benchmark or the standard for all other restaurants. Now, that being said, there are many McDonald's, and when you have so many McDonald's, you're going to run into issues because it becomes a harder operation to manage. Kind of like how the Roman Empire spread too far, the Golden Arches have done the same exact thing. So there's plenty of horror stories about McDonald's quality, their food being terrible, poor customer service, and so much more. So you have to look at this in the scope. Do you judge McDonald's based on those stories, or do you understand that as a result of their large influence that you're going to have more stories like that as outliers? In my opinion, McDonald's is still responsible for those outliers and how they handle their consistency, because consistency is their brand, and they're also the standard for all other restaurants. I'm going to rate them a B, a high B. I feel like their quality has gone down over the past several years. They could do a lot better with that. I think a couple years ago, they would have been a low A whenever they had the gourmet burgers. I remember them having the barbecue with the mustard and the onion crisp burger. That was quite delicious. It was my favorite thing on the menu. They got rid of it, so this might be a little bit of a salt rating. But the truth is, their quality has gone down. I thought they were going in the right direction, and they kind of stopped it around COVID, around that time in 2020. So that's kind of where I'm going to have to put it for now. Panda Express. I have had bad experiences at Panda Express. Panda Express, it seems like they're always rushed. They never want to, the customer service never really wants to give you the time to listen. And this has happened at multiple Panda Express restaurants. Whenever I order orange chicken at a Panda Express, it's often very old and soggy, and it has more of a brownish color. Whenever I order like a Mongolian beef or like a beef and broccoli, I often find it is cold and has too much fat in it. Panda Express to me is a low-tier Chinese restaurant. If you want real Chinese food, go to an authentic Chinese restaurant that's local to your area. I'd have to rate it a D. It's kind of like Long John Silver's in the same way. Okay, Panera Bread Co. So, Panera Bread is delicious in my opinion. It's very authentic food. It has a lot of bread. They have really good soups, really good pizzas, really good sandwiches, really good pastries and desserts. They have a variety of different lemonades to drink from. Now, I'm not a huge lemonade enthusiast, but the lemonade here is actually very, very good. And I would say that their soda, when it comes to their soda, it has a really good carbonation water to syrup ratio. I like Panera Bread Co. a lot. I'm going to rate Panera Bread Co. an A tier. Popeyes Chicken and Biscuit. Now, and this is kind of a meme with Popeyes, and it's just the truth, and everyone knows this, so I'm just going to say it. People who work at Popeyes have poor hygiene. I've never been to a Popeyes where the employees are clean, where they look like they groomed themselves, look like they were ready for the day. It's kind of frankly off-putting, and that's why I don't really go there quite too often. So Popeyes, I mean, when it comes to their food, that's a different story. Everyone remembers that Popeyes had the chicken sandwich. It started the chicken sandwich wars, and that chicken sandwich did slap. Their fries are also very good, but you have to off-put that. If you're going through the drive-thru, it's a little bit easier to manage because you don't have to go in the restaurant. I often find that Popeyes restaurants, similar to their employees, are often dirty and miskept. But if you're just trying to get the food, go through the drive-thru, close your eyes, you'll be fine. And I would probably put it as a very, very low C. Actually, I'm going to put it as a high D. It might be the highest D. Quiznos. Quiznos is very similar to Jersey Mike's. To me, they're kind of indifferent. It's kind of like every time you eat here, or even here, it's an opportunity cost to not eat at Subway. Now, we'll get to Subway in a moment because Subway ain't doing much better, but I find that a lot of these sandwich places fail to make good sandwiches. And you'll be better going to a local sandwich place. Kind of like, with Panda Express, if you go and get bad Chinese food, you'll be better off actually getting local Chinese food wherever you live. So that's where I'm at to rank that for now. Cane's. Raising Cane's. Their fried chicken's alright. I've had it only a handful of times, but it's still pretty damn good. I remember it. I would say it's at this point it is better than KFC. I would say they're kind of interchangeable. KFC has the original breading, but their quality of food has just gone down, and their customer service has gone down. But Raising Cane also has really good breading, and their customers, but it's not as good as KFC's. But their customer service is a bit better, in my opinion. So you can these are kind of interchangeable where you want to put them. I'm gonna put them like this. Ooh. Right here. That's how I'm gonna put it. But it's gonna be your choice. A little bit, you're not getting the classic KFC breading, but you are getting better customer service, or you can get the KFC breading and run the risk of being screwed around with. Sonic. I like Sonic because there's not really another fast food place that's very similar to Sonic in my opinion in this matter. They have the drive-through thing where you drive in and it's like, oh, they bring the food to you and all that, and you order at the thing. And they have really delicious food. They have really good burgers. Their hot dogs are long, full of chili and cheese. It's the American dream. You get one of those suckers, you get that, you swallow it, you get a 16.9 ounce soda, You drink that, and you get diabetes, and you die of a heart attack. And that's really the American goal there. Sonic sells a lot of iconic American foods that you would think of if you don't live in America. So, and it's just very iconic in that way because it has that retro 1950s-esque kind of appeal. I would put Sonic in the B tier. I would rate it right here. I would rate Sonic right there. It's not as iconic as these restaurants, but it has done good to get to this ranking. Steak and the Shake, another retro restaurant. The thing with Steak and the Shake is, one, their drive-thrus are infamous for being very long. You want to go to Steak and the Shake drive-thru? Tough luck, buddy. You have a better chance getting through the DMV. Steak and Shake drive-thrus are bad for you. It's garbage and they're bullshit. Don't do it. If you want Steak and a Shake, order ahead. Now, let's talk about their food. Their food is good. I like their onion butter burger is very delicious. They also have a very delicious barbecue burger, and their steak burgers pretty much always slap. Their fries, I'm not really a huge fan of. They're very flimsy and thin, but you can they have like different seasoning you can put on them, and they make them a bit more edible. They're not my favorite style of fry, but I know other people rave about them, as well as their shakes. So their shakes are very good. I prefer banana flavored shakes. They have an ultimate banana that I adored, but they had gotten rid of. So now I go with like a strawberry banana. But still, Steak and a Shake is has delicious food, but their drive-thru is garbage. If you go into the restaurant and you eat there, often the service is very good. The servers will often do whatever you say, pretty much in promise of a tip. Now, when you're eating inside of the Steak and Shake, they will give you, if you order a drink, they will give you a glass for your drink. Now, if you say, hey, can I have a drink to go? Normally they're supposed to charge you, but the server will bring you a drink to go for free with the idea that instead of paying for that drink, you will instead tip them. And that is how you get a free drink, because you can tip them still substantially, because you're going to tip them anyways, but you can tip them and not pay for the drink, and then you got a drink to go. Because they don't give you to-go drinks whenever you eat inside the restaurant. So make sure you remember that tip for later. It will be helpful in the future. So we're going to put Steak and Shake as I would put it right here. Subway. So here's the deal with Subway. It's hit or miss. 50% of the times I go to Subway, it slaps. The other 50% of the time, it's utter complete garbage, and it's trash. So, Subway is the premier sandwich place. Jersey Mike's, Quiznos, Jimmy John's, eat your heart out. If you're not going to a local place or Subway, it's kind of a mix. But with Subway, I like their chicken bacon ranch melt. I like their Philly cheesesteaks. I like their meatball subs. I like their club sandwiches. They're good. Now, the thing is the quality of the ingredients is very risky. It depends on when you go. If you are working 9 to 5 in an office, and you get out of work, and you're like, man, I'm hungry. What do I want for dinner? I want Subway. You go to Subway and you order anything with chicken on it, I guarantee you that chicken was laying out all damn day. Just laying out there, dried up, cold. Man, you don't want that chicken, dude. And the same can go for any of the meats and any of the ingredients at a Subway. I don't think they treat their ingredients with the proper care and quality that they need to make quality sandwiches. So it's a swing. It's really risky. Now, if you go to a Subway when they just put out the ingredients, or the ingredients are somewhat fresh, then you'll have a good time. That reminds me, Subway is a motto: always fresh. No, not always fresh. Almost never fresh. But when it's fresh, it is good. They also have the cookies. The raspberry cheesecake cookie is a god-tier cookie. It's one of my favorite cookies in the world. I get it every time I go to Subway. Subway is a B tier. It can't be higher than a B tier, and it can't be lower than this, because that's where I put these clowns. Now, they're really not bad restaurants. They're not as ubiquitous as Subway, so you have an opportunity cost, because for each one of these, probably a Subway nearby. Taco Bell. So here's the deal with Taco Bell. Taco Bell is a very innovative restaurant. They operate in a way that is very important to how fast food restaurants will evolve in the future, because they improve their existing offerings. You take, for example, Doritos Locos Tacos. It takes the insanity of a genius to decide taco shell, Doritos crust, Doritos tacos, Baja Blast, Skittles slushy. Everyone knows that Taco Bell is on top of their game when it comes to innovation. And yeah, they got rid of the Mexican pizza and they brought it back, and it was kind of flustered. But now it's back now, and it's kind of established that it's back, and the Mexican pizza will stay. On top of that, the nacho fries. Even Tony Hawk doesn't land all his kickflips, okay? It's a swing and a miss kind of situation with the nacho fries. But Taco Bell is very delicious. I will say the only thing bad about Taco Bell is their cheese. Their cheese needs work. It needs serious work. I go to different Mexican restaurants that are local, and I guarantee you any Mexican restaurant that's local is going to have better cheese than Taco Bell. I'm just saying. So if you're wanting cheesy Mexican food, go to a local place. But if you're wanting a quick taco or two, you want to pop off for very cheap and get some delicious offerings, Taco Bell is an S tier. That's the way it's got to be. Wendy's. Wendy's is delicious. They got the Baconator, a delicious sandwich that almost kills you. It gives you so much cholesterol you die almost immediately, but it's almost worth it. Wendy's is a great restaurant. They also innovate in a very similar way. They have the Wendy's chili. They have the Frosties. They have really good fries, and they have the spicy chicken nuggets. Wendy's is, in my opinion, I'm gonna put it here. I think it's on the same level as Dairy Queen. I like Dairy Queen a little bit more than Wendy's, but Wendy's and Dairy Queen, they're kind of the same tier of burger places. If you want to go to a burger restaurant, that's where you want to go. Now, Wetzel's Pretzels. Kind of the same thing with Auntie Annie's. I've only been to a Wetzel's Pretzels whenever I go to a mall. That being said, they're just pretzels. It's like the difference between Dr. Pepper and Pibb Extra. Okay, listen, we all know that Dr. Pepper is the OG and it has the 23 original flavors, and Pibb Extra just has the, quote, spicy cherry flavor, but they're practically the same drink, and they're both delicious. What are you gonna do? Whataburger. So, I know this is gonna make a lot of people upset, but it has to be said. Whataburger's kind of trash. It's not very good. I've only been to Whataburger once, and I did not enjoy myself. It made my stomach upset. I did not have a good time. And I've noticed that when the entire time they were making my food, they were goofing off. Maybe that was just a one-off chance, and people can't say you can't rate it on one chance. Well, this is my list. If I have to rate Whataburger, I'm rating it an F. The only thing I know about Whataburger other than that is that's where fights go off. If I ever had to make a fighting game, the back of the parking lot of a Whataburger at 3 a.m. would be a fighting stage. White Castle, oh my gosh, this might be the worst one. So, here's the deal with White Castle. They scam you. And not in the way like you think. Like, they're not legitimately scamming you, but let me paint a picture here. So when you go to White Castle and you're thinking, damn, you can get a burger for like 68 cents? Damn, dude. So you go in thinking, damn, I'm gonna have a giant ass feast. They got a meal, man. I'm gonna go and get like 100 burgers. So you go in, you're like, can I have 20 burgers, please? Like, all right. And they ring you up, and you're waiting there, and you're like, man, oh man, I'm gonna get those burgers, dude. And then they give you this briefcase, and you're like, okay. Kind of present it to you, all right. You open up the briefcase, you see a bunch of boxes. I'm like, all right. They're sliders. They're not burgers, they're sliders, and yes, there's a difference. So you get them, and then they're these flimsy, very weak, paper-thin, glass bones burgers. If you blow on them, they'll freaking disintegrate. And you bite one. And it's motherfucking disgusting. They have no substance. It's like the meat isn't good. It has it's meat, it's fake, it's almost like fake meat with grilled onion flavoring that's grilled into it. And that's the flavor of the burger. It doesn't have any consistency. So they basically sell you on this idea of a cheap burger, but and so you get many of them, but if it's all cheap, then it's not good. It's quality over quantity. You can spend like $20 getting a White Castle, 20 shitty White Castle burgers, or you could spend $25 and get a God tier Five Guys burger. We all know what you should do. I've never had this. Zaxby's. Zaxby's is the last on our list. Zaxby's fried chicken is generally good. I've had it only a couple of times in Georgia, and I thought it was very delicious. If I had to rate Zaxby's just on the basis of its chicken and customer service, by the times that I have went there, I would rate it a B tier. There's not much more to say other than that. The fast food list has been completed. It has been completed. I want you to look at this list one more time. Look at this list. Now, out of these, my favorite wasn't even on here, and that was Culver's. Culver's is my personal favorite, but out of these, my personal favorite is Five Guys or Taco Bell. One of these two. But my actual favorite fast food restaurant is Culver's. So if you want to talk about Culver's, it's going to go right here, and it's an S tier. We'll talk about Culver's really quick. Culver's is a delicious fast food restaurant. If you have not been to one, I would highly recommend it. They have amazing custard concretes. They're better than Blizzards. They're better than Frosties. They're better. They're on par with Five Guys banana shakes and things of that nature. Culver's has delicious butter burgers. They also sell seafood that is really good, high quality, way better than anything you're gonna get at Long John Silver's. Culver's is an S tier restaurant, and it's my personal favorite, but it's not on this list. But out of this list, my personal favorite is Five Guys or Taco Bell. Probably Five Guys. Alright? Memorize this list. This is the Holy Bible. Alright? This is the 10 Commandments you guys need to follow. Alright? That's about it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.